I had that same notepad in front of me not long ago. Save more, pay off the cards, do better this year. 3 lines, and not one of them meant anything. I crossed all 3 out and wrote one number instead. Real productive night, right? I'm Shadeek. This is Daily Praxis. If your credit card balance is sitting at 22% interest right now, and your plan is just to deal with it eventually, that's just not a plan. That's not even a goal. That's a wish with a due date you're ignoring. And for context, that's worse odds than most casinos give you. Here's the thing that actually stopped me that day. I've made budgets before, real numbers, real spreadsheets, categories for everything, and I still overspent against them. Not because I don't know how to add, because a number sitting on a budget line isn't the same as a real target. It's just there. Nothing attached to it, no date, no reason, nothing you'd actually feel if you missed it. And I'll tell you something nobody really says out loud about that part. Staying vague isn't laziness. It's safer. The second you get specific, the second you write down an actual number and an actual date, you have to look straight at how far off you actually are. A vague goal lets you avoid that. That doesn't mean something is wrong with you if that's you. Avoiding a number that scares you is a normal reaction, not a character flaw. But you can't pause and assess your way toward a number that doesn't mean anything to you yet. And you can't get specific until you're willing to look. The real thing sitting underneath that avoidance isn't discipline. It's fear. Fear of what the number is going to say about where you actually stand. That's the same fear behind a lot of other things people avoid too. It's not a coincidence. It's the same pattern showing up again. And this isn't just a feeling I have. There's decades of research behind it. Specific, clear targets consistently beat vague ones. Not by a little, consistently across hundreds of studies. Save $5,000 by December moves people. Save more money doesn't because there's no actual line to cross. Here's where this actually played out for me, not just in theory. I've got a situation right now that's going to need a real chunk of money. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I don't know the final number yet. And that notepad moment I opened with, that's exactly where this played out. I had to pen halfway through writing save more, again, same as always, and I stopped. Actually paused and looked at what I was doing instead of just finishing the line. Then I assessed it, asked myself why I kept writing something that vague. And the honest answer was I didn't want to look at how much I might actually need. That's the fear talking, not laziness. So I chose different. I crossed it out and wrote the real number instead. By December, I want another $5,000 saved. Why? So I'm not stuck scrambling last minute if something unexpected comes up before then. That's it. Not just a number with a date and a reason sitting behind it. Because I chose to actually look instead of writing the same safe line again. I've started calling that a spot instead of a goal. Because honestly, goal doesn't mean anything to most people anymore. Your spot is just the exact place you're trying to get to. Not a feeling, not do better, a real place with a number on it if it's about money. So you actually know when you've arrived. So if you want to try this yourself, take whatever vague thing you've been saying you want and force it into 3 pieces. The number, the date, and what it actually looks like day to day. Not financial freedom. That sounds great on a vision board, and it's done nothing for anybody's actual bank account. Try $2,000 a month in passive income by 2028. So I can drop to part-time and be home when my kids get off the bus. That's a spot. You can actually assess your way toward that. You can see exactly what's in the way of it instead of just feeling stuck in general. You remember those sneakers I almost bought a couple weeks back? Closing that cart just stopped the money from leaving. That's all the pause does. The $310 was still just sitting there afterward, not doing anything until I gave it somewhere to go. That's the part I left out of that video. Pausing stops the spending. A spot is what you actually do with the money after. Pause, assess, choose. Pause, stop and notice what's really going on instead of just doing the things without thinking. Assess, look closely at your choices and ask, Does this get me closer to what I want or further away? Choose, you pick what you're going to do and be ready for what happens after so it doesn't surprise you. All three of those need something real to point at. If you're still working off a wish, there's nothing yet for the method to work on. Fix that first. I'm Shadeek. This is Daily Praxis. I'll see you next week.